where this incident had happened in Washington, D.C. My question to you, as you were hearing John Dalton in the studio, and how about this shooting that has happened, it has prompted the American administration to review countries of concern regarding green card applications. I want to understand how you felt about this recent issue, and of course, my condolences to the families of those who have been lost serving the nation. I want to understand how Ambassador Norman Floyd Barnes feels about this issue.
Greetings from Washington, D.C. This Sunday morning. Uh, this incident in Washington is a very uh, traumatizing event for the fact that that area, Farragut West subway station, is a very populated area. Uh, these two servicemen was ambushed. Unfortunately, the young lady lost her life. She actually volunteered to work that day. She wasn't supposed to work to allow other people to be with their families during the holiday. She was a 20-year-old. The other gentleman, he's fighting for his life uh, right now with brain injuries. And this event has prompted the United States administration to basically put a hold on all foreign immigration process, and particularly third world, particularly the global South coming in the United States. So this is going to have a profound effect on our immigration process as we move forward. Yes, the 20th of November, the courts ruled that it was illegal for the troops to be in D.C. But this incident now prompted the administration to push for additional troops. We have over 2,000 troops in D.C. We're looking at now 2,500. So one viewpoint is, okay, we got more troops in, and the other viewpoint is now we got 2,500 more targets to be attacked in the city. Is not being viewed right now. It's very positive right now. Everybody's on edge about the killings, and the more on edge about the response. The response is foreigners are not allowed in the country. They want to use this situation to promote the immigration and additional tactics that's going to be coming on in regarding to getting undesirables out. That is to be determined. So we right now waiting to see exactly what happened with this situation. But right now, it is being used by the current administration as a reason not to allow people in.
I know this young lady has been killed. I want to ask a question that I really must ask and let our viewers know as well. What are the responsibilities for the current administration in regards to the person or the lady that lost her life? Is there any kind of support for her family that the government would want to expedite in the coming days? I want to ask this to Norman Floyd Barnes in Washington, D.C.
Um, she was at the time, a government employee. There's benefits and provisions made for military personnel in regards to her family. Um, Question was brought up, her funeral situation. Will the current president attend? His response was silence. We don't know yet. Uh, the vice president and other parties have currently visited uh, the young man, Mr. Wolf, in the hospital, who's struggling for his life right now. But right now, the government is in the position to provide support and benefits for the uh, two service persons. One, for a funeral, unfortunately, for the young lady's demise, and the other one is he has a healthcare issues is going to be if he survived, will be uh, probably lifetime. He's in a terrible situation. Uh, His brain is swelling right now. They're trying to get him stabilized, but he has a challenge. So we're still praying for both parties, the families of both, and the gentleman. Hopefully, he can survive this. But right now, the government can and hopefully will come in and help out with the family.
As you were hearing John Dalton talking about this offensive and counteroffensive by the two sides, Venezuela and USA, it's not an official war. And that is not the language of the tabloids, if not all the other big media houses. But the tensions remain escalatory, and multiple countries, including the UK, has issued a statement saying that these attacks on foreign boats by the United States of America may be breaking some international laws. I want to understand how Ambassador Norman Floyd Barnes feels about this latest tensions.
Thank you for the question. In essence, the attacks on these boats in international waters are considered illegal. That's my honest response to that. They're basically not justifiable. Uh, the contrast of these two surviving uh, terrorists, narco terrorists, returned to their home also gives a question about why weren't they questioned, why weren't they apprehended, brought to justice. They were sent back home. Um, One can suggest that they were sent home to keep them quiet, to not discuss the fact, what's going on, and basically to allow the U.S. to continue on this open water attacks on the ships. So there's a lot to be viewed on this. We have to just watch the details and has things going on. But this doesn't feel right. Something is wrong here. It's being utilized as basically, as John mentioned, we get into being who's the big bad bully, being bullied again. The United States against Venezuela, create an environment where they feel pressured. Uh, the goal is to get influence and impact on the oil-rich country of Venezuela. So that is what we're looking at right now. Our military has been used as pawns once again, just like the unfortunate situation with the National Guard in Washington, D.C. They've been used as pawns for the current administration agenda.
Regarding Ukraine and Russia, we must talk about this issue as
That's
the United
still involved? They still involved?
They're still involved.
Oh, okay.
And even after this 19-point plan that has been proposed, there has been fighting, overnight strikes by Russian forces on and around Kyiv, at least killed 6 people and wounded dozens, while Ukrainian forces struck 2 Russian-linked oil tankers in the Black Sea, part of what is known as Russia's shadow fleet, used to circumvent sanctions. So this is the latest that we have. I want to understand from Norman Floyd Barnes' perspective, these 19 points issued by the United States government is in favor to some extent towards the Russian side, and Ukraine fears losing out on the 35 to 30% territory that it had been lost to Russia. I want to ask Norman Floyd Barnes how he feels about these latest incursions between the two sides.
Thank you again. Quick response. My response to that is this is a hot mess. We went from 28 points down to 19, down to 3 points, but it's still the same problem. Territory, security, NATO. These are the sticking points that is haven't been resolved. They unresolved, and it's going to cause problems currently, in the future, and maybe forever. I don't think we're going to find a solution to this. Russia wants to continue with this campaign. They are proving it by continuing their attacks, drones, military rockets, military. They are hell bent on continuing their campaign, while they're waiting for Ukraine to respond to a plan for their surrender. Basically, so they're proposing to them these are the terms of surrender, and you have to take it. On the other side, Ukraine is looking at, do we continue to fight, or do we risk the possibility of losing aid from the West, the United States? Do we deal with that? Uh, it's not going to be something easy. Giving up and submitting to the Russians' demand, the Russian/U.S. 19-point plan creates additional problems for Europe. Europe is watching this whole situation. The question about NATO without the United States is now being viewed as a result of this 28 19-point plan. They are now evaluating the relationship with the United States in regards to our response to this Ukraine Russian issue. So this is not going away. Either way it turns, it's going to affect the relationship with the United States and Europe.
This Ukraine-Russia war has been running for more than 3.5 years. And finally, we are seeing some kind of faltering of allegiance between those who support Volodymyr Zelensky, the leader of Ukraine. I just want to understand how you see this as, of course, Ukraine is on the side that is losing out the most.
Yes, as we discussed in dealing with the situation with Ukraine and Russia and Europe, Ukraine has its own issue. They have an internal, like a mini revolution in their country regarding how they want to move forward. Some wants to move forward. Some wants to move forward with this acceptance agreement. Others do not. Uh, Unfortunately, this key negotiator is being sacrificed. Had to resign, part of a corruption probe in terms of how things are going to move forward. Uh, so it's a lot of stuff going on inside of Ukraine in addition to the war. Winter is coming. People want to end this thing, but how they end it is going to be largely dependent on what position, what guarantees they can get regarding security and future aggression, and basically how NATO is going to respond. Because right now, the United States is viewed as pro Russia in this agreement, and NATO and the Europeans are looking at how do we recover after this situation is being resolved. So it's a lot going on. It's not going to be, the ceasefire. The ending is not. It's going to start a whole new dynamics, a whole new narrative. What's going on? So the bigger picture is how do we deal? How Europe is going to deal with this decision, whatever it may be. Do they continue the war, let the war continue, lose U.S. aid, or do we concede to the current plan and risk additional response from Russia over Europe? And what is the position of the United States? Are the United States going to support us, or are they going to fade back and do something else? The opinion is that the United States is coming weaker in terms of Europe and NATO.